From LA Surg. Jason, what are your thoughts on the banking system collapse that's in progress?
Well, it's entirely controlled. Um, I believe that what they're actually trying to do is switch over to the digital currency, and they knew from the beginning that they're not going to be. It's not going to be an easy deal. I believe right now they are trying to induce people to remove their money from banks, and this is why they very slowly, one at a time, collapsed each bank. Every bit of this is by design, starting with the whole Bankman-Fried deal. Bankman-Fried, all that was absolutely 100% structured. It's none of this is random. So I believe more banks will follow. They're doing it very slowly, getting people to pull their monies out, maybe invest in hard assets, do whatever, but because it allows them to be able to blame the people for the collapse of the banks. You pulled your money out. What did you think was going to happen when all you guys started pulling your money back? Of course, the banks collapsed. So they've been fleecing the people for hundreds of years. Uh, Basically stealing from people and getting away with it, and they've enriched themselves and they've gotten richer, but that system is a bubble and it's designed to collapse. They pre-planned this from the beginning. The whole structure of the cryptocurrencies were basically to get people to really trust in the system of digital banks and digital currencies, and it's worked. And they have treated the cryptocurrency markets as basically an enemy, but all that was by design because it makes people trust. If you already distrust the banks, of course you're going to trust the cryptocurrencies because the banks don't like them. All this was by design, every bit of it. These people are very genius at what they do, and they've been doing it for way longer than most countries have been here. So it's all by design. They're going to get more and more people to take out the money out of the banks, and then they're going to turn around and blame the people for the collapse of more and more banks. You already know it's an old doctrine. They're going to create the problem, and they're going to they're going to provide a solution. I do believe that there's going to be an event this year that provides the catalyst, but they're trying to make it as smooth a transition as possible. And I think that's a good thing, but they're still nefarious, and it doesn't really matter to me. I don't care because I already know that the world is wicked. I know it's going to be just as evil the day I leave as the day I entered it. And I know that I'm not here to change the world at all. I understand the construct. I understand the need for this world, why it's here, because not all souls are on the same. We're all on the same playing field, but we don't all have the same understanding. And it requires these simulacrums like this one. I believe this is the nemesis. This is the nemesis simulation. And being the nemesis simulation, this right here is a hard one. I don't believe all simulacrum experiences are like the one we're in right now. This one's a hard one. This one right here has been on a loop for a long time, and many of us, all of us, everybody listening to my voice have looped many times. And I believe that this is probably my last one, and I believe it's the last one for a lot of people. And those who aren't ready are either going to collapse with the entire holography, or they're going to loop back all the way back to Genesis and start all over again. And this is a subject matter of many presentations in the past. So, what was the question again?
Your thoughts on the banking system collapse?
So coming with the banking system collapse, this is all to move us to accepting the digital currency, but it's not easy. I mean, it would have been very difficult if in one day they just shut all the banks down. Nobody has access to any of their things, and say, "Hey, check this out. We're going to render everything you have in your bank is going to be rendered into a new digital currency. We're going to issue new cards. We're going to do all." It would have been more difficult. It's much easier to accomplish just the way they're doing it, just one bank at a time. Start slow. And when they're ready to move fast, they're already in a position to do so, and they can do it without a lot of people panicking. So, yeah, I don't believe that times are going to get near as bad as you think. I even think that they may even have some type of cash in forgiveness program where people are induced to bring their assets back into the banks, and then those assets will be rendered digitally for them to be able to spend and do whatever they want with. I just really don't know. I haven't looked enough into it. I just don't know. It's just a part of the chaos that's a part of our lives. I don't believe for a minute that any of it even matters in 17 years. In 17 years, it's not going to matter at all. But cash isn't as valuable as you think it is. You may have $25,000 in cash hidden on your property, but I assure you, if a total infrastructure collapse happens by the 4th or 5th day, all the cash in the world will mean nothing to you because nobody will be taking it anymore. In a total infrastructure collapse, cash is only king for about 2 days, when you can go buy everything that you need to buy from stores that are still open and doing that. By the 3rd and the 4th day, the rest of the population will realize this is a problem. This is a total infrastructure collapse. No EMS, no emergency services are coming to rescue us. Power's not getting back on. We're going to have rotting food in all these refrigerators and all. Let's go raid the stores. Local populations will empty out all local stores within 3 or 4 days after an infrastructure collapse, and there's going to be nobody to stop them. There's not enough police. There's not enough military. No one's going to stop these people from running into Walmarts and Kroger's and Tom Thumbs and H-E-B's and grocery stores and Dollar Generals and Dollar Trees. No one's going to stop these locals from going in there at any time of the day and emptying the meat sections out and the dairy sections, the cheese, and then go and getting all the dry foods out. Nothing. Within 5 to 6 days, there isn't a store in America that will have anything to buy. Your cash means nothing. So it's this isn't just me telling you. There's already military and university think tanks that have already done all this research projections. They know exactly what to expect. There's also a guy, and I've promoted him. He's dead now. But his name is William Johnstone, and I've read 3 different series of books put out this man. The first Mountain Man series, the last Mountain Man series, because I like my westerns, and I was in prison. I read all those books. But he also put out of the Ashes series, and I encourage everybody to read at least the first 12 books. It's a 24-book series, maybe 30-book series, but I encourage everyone to read the first 12 books of Out of the Ashes. It's a fantastic story, but it's about a total 100% infrastructure collapse in the United States and what you can expect, what's going to happen. Some of this stuff, it's like a rated R reading. It's not for kids. It's graphic, but it's what you can expect. So, you guys know I'm not a fearmonger here. I already know. If you're an errant, shoot, I'm going to tell you now. None of the rules mean anything to you because reality will reciprocate for whatever your needs are. It will always put you in the holographic path you need to be in to be well taken care of if that's your attitude. If you believe that the universe is always going to provide an out for you and to provide sustenance for you, then it will reciprocate and it will always be for you what it hasn't become for others. Yeah, that's the difference between the errant and the collective. The errant is a highly individualized soul that has mastered pattern breaking and the ability to separate itself from the perceptions of the collective, to understand the world objectively for what it is and that it is in a relationship with the reality around it. And that reality is its friend and will provide the very things that it's basically expected to provide. It will do that. That's what the errant is. Called an errant, not because you're in error, but because you're perceived as one by this overseer, artificial intelligence construct that tries to corral everybody into reality tunnels, into polarities. But the errant goes another way. The errant is a piece of programming, a soul that cannot be corralled. Therefore, it's an error. And this is the way you're perceived by the system.